So let's now jump in to some hands and feet. Okay, these are a little more complicated. They do help. They help a lot. Okay, first thing, layer. All right, so let's start with some feet. So we're coming back to this triangle. Now, I know we had a triangle like this before, which is good. Depending on the show, you might actually use a triangle like that or project that you end up working on. But that would indicate that this foot might be very flat right now. So let's start talking about the real thing. So we're going to have it curve in like this. It's going to be more, it's going to curve a little backwards that way. We'll keep it like that. Now this foot is almost straight on. Don't worry about the ankles. Doesn't matter right now. You're going to see this back part of the heel is going to show a little. Now, if we were to break it down into this simple shape, it would be like this. Like a triangle. We have the top plane here. So this does make sense. But now we're starting to figure out where the planes are. So on this foot here, we're going to have this big toe here. And we're going to have all these other little toes grouped like that. Now, the thing is with the foot, we'll stick with this inside of the foot. So that way it's easier to see what's going on. We're going to see these curves like this on the inside. Now here's the toes right there. This bump is always on the big toe side. If you were to draw the foot where we see pinky first, the little pinky toe like this, when the big toe's back there, all this overlap, this is going to be almost like a clean sweep going down. Not to say that character's flat-footed. That is where you look on the inside, and that's where you'll start to see, how the character's feet are. So if we draw a triangle and there's this bump right here, so there's this cushiony pad that starts to stick out. We're going to simplify these feet just for this purpose. It might be a little over exaggerated, but it's there. Okay. So we have the inside of the foot on this right one. We have the outside of the foot on the left one over here. Now the toe could get kind of confusing if you start to get into the more anatomical thing. It almost looks like a little staircase almost. There's all of these planes, and then how it fits in there, and there's it starts to wrap around, and there's that bump, and it can get very confusing very quickly. All these little feet like little ladders, like going one way down. That's how the feet are though. They go up, you might start to see some of the bounds. It can go in that direction really quick. I just realized those toes were far back there. That means that they have like this giant toe. I don't know if we want that. Okay, but we're still missing a toe. So let's see. This is the simplest way to look at the foot. So from the bottom, same thing, draw this shape. There's a pad here, there's a pad here, and there's a pad here. This middle section, that might be where you might see that curve like here. Some people it's more flat, some it's, there's a bigger arc. It all just depends on what you want to push once you start to understand why things are the way they are. Now, same thing. You can block those shapes out. Simple curve outside. Make sure to get that bump on the inside of the foot. Now, let's jump right over into shoes real quick. We will use this almost as a base. So with the foot, almost using that, because the foot will come down like right here, but we're going to see this plane change here with a foot, or a shoe, excuse me. So same thing. Going to want the curve in there. Same idea still. So you can see that triangle happening in there. The same thing happens with the shoe. So the same exact thing also on the outside. It's weird, right? It seems so complicated. So we have this plane here. So if we were to draw a center line, this will be the tongue. So the tongue, we can block out onto another shape. So we can really see what's happening. And the foot will go into that shoe. Now, if we were to copy paste this, we can start to see where maybe even the shoelaces might go. Now, there's many different choices you can do with all of this. You can block it out as a big shape here. You can go straight across. You can go and create patterns out of it where it's like asymmetrical looking shoelaces, get some design. You can have, the whole crisscross thing. It's up to you. Once you get the shape, then you can really start to do all kinds of things with it. As long as that base is there, where the plane changes are now happening. So you could add in this section here on the bottom, which also is very important in design, especially when coloring things. So if you go and look at your shoe, you'll see this bottom part. Sometimes it's gum color. It could be the same color as the shoe. It's usually a different color. You might see it's white. When you start to even color your designs, which is not the thing I'm focusing on, all I'm trying to teach are fundamentals to character design. But if that wasn't there on the shoe, that particular section, it would look flat. For some reason, it helps it gives your foot volume. It helps. It gives it form. Instead of your character looking like they're wearing a sock. So sometimes, and also this plane it's one of those things. Do you want to keep it there? You could take it out, but this is the basis. That's the thing. So we can even get rid of it, go straight curve. We can add in just lines here. We can change this tongue here. We can bring the shoe out wider, and you can see the opening now on it. It's a tube. See the tube? You can even have it coming down. You can add a little design on it. It's the same thing though.